Hey guys, how are you today? I'm doing really good. Just spending some time relaxing. Brent took the kids out four-wheeling, so I'm here by myself, just soaking in all the quiet. Sometimes as moms need that. So I just thought I'd do this video. It's been on my heart a lot lately, and I really haven't had enough quiet time to be able to do a video. So here it is. This one's for all the moms. In today's society, it's difficult because we have all these, you know, sites saying what moms should do and what we shouldn't do, and all these pages, these mom pages, and you ask a question and want to know what's the best cream to use on your child. One person says this cream, the other person says a different cream, and another person says no cream at all. So as parents, it's really hard to know what we should do. And you can't always find the answers in a book. You can't always find the answers on those mom pages. And you can't always find the right answer through advice from friends or family, because your child is their own person, and not all children are the same. Just like all people, all adults, we're not all the same. So it gets hard. There's not really a manual to raise children, but God has left us His written word, and we can open it up, and it can encourage us and give us that boost that we need, and that's what He has done for me. So today we're going to read a little bit about Mary, Jesus' mother, and who better to learn from? I mean, she was an amazing person. God chose her to be Jesus' mother for a reason. And we're going to look at that a little bit. So today we're going to be in Luke chapter 2. Bear with me. I promise you're going to get something out of it. Sometimes you have to read things that you don't quite understand, or can be a little boring. But really, at the end of it, it's really amazing. And so we're just going to go ahead and start. I know most of you have already heard of the story when Jesus was born. In Luke chapter 2, talks about how the angels went to the shepherds and told the shepherds exactly what Jesus looked like, what he's gonna be in a manger, and he was gonna be swaddled, and all of this stuff. They said where he was gonna be, and so the shepherds went, and they went to go find this baby Jesus that the angels had told them about, the Son of God. And they go and they find him exactly how the angels described. And there was no such thing as a picture or Instagram or Facebook, or even the news. So that the shepherds knew that the angels really just knew this. And this didn't come from another source. So the shepherds were so excited and so amazed that the angels had spoke this to them. And so they went throughout the whole town, and they told all of the people out in the town about this little baby, the Son of God, and everyone was amazed about what the shepherds were saying. And then it says, but Mary treasured all these things in her heart, and she pondered on them. That right there is Mary's reaction over and over. She pondered things. She treasured them in her heart, and she pondered on them. She took them seriously. Everyone was amazed. Everyone was freaking out. And what was Mary doing? She took this all in. She treasured it all in her heart. She treasured these promises that the Lord made, these things that the Lord told the shepherds, that the Lord already had revealed a lot of this stuff to Mary. And here she was. She's living it out. And she's pondering this stuff in her heart. She's treasuring up in her heart, and she's pondering on them. Now, you'll see a little bit further on, they go at 8 days. They end up naming Jesus. They do all the traditional stuff, everything that you're supposed to do by law after you have a baby, and in order to bless the baby and give it over to God and all this stuff. And they did everything. They went and did all the traditional stuff. And it says here in Luke 2:39, I believe, when Joseph and Mary had done everything required by the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee, to their own town of Nazareth. And the child grew, talking about Jesus, and the child grew and became strong. He was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Now I'd like to go back. Mary treasured up all these things in her heart, and she pondered on them. That's the first step right there. And then God showed her everything else that she's supposed to be doing. And then the child grew and became strong, and he was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Now, when we go a little bit further down, the next verse, it starts talking about Jesus. He was 12 years old, and they went to the Passover feast, which they had to travel to go to. They had to go to Jerusalem. And they go with their family, their cousins, their aunts, and this is a whole big ordeal. Kind of like our Thanksgiving dinners. You go and you travel to Virginia or wherever it is to be with family and have a feast. And so here they go. They go to the Passover feast, and they have a great time, and they're headed back home. And they were gone for about 24 hours. And then Mary, she asked where Jesus was at. She thought Jesus was with the aunts and the uncles and the cousins. But comes to find out, no one knew where Jesus was at. No one knew where the Son of God was at. Mary, the mother, lost the Son of God. I don't think I would want to be in her shoes. And I don't know if y'all have ever lost a child, but, with my blindness, I lose my children quite often. And I'm always like, where are you? Where are you? And I'm like, okay, you're standing right behind me. So I could just imagine losing my child, like for 3 days, how upset I would be. So here Mary is. She lost the Son of God, and they go looking for him. And they find him after 3 days of searching, because they had to go all the way back. And they found him sitting in the temple, talking to the teachers and asking questions, and he was gaining understanding, and he was just so smart. I could just imagine Jesus at 12 years old, like how amazing he probably was. So they found him, and then they were freaking out. I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to read some of this. It says, everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." She didn't even mention the 3 days part. "Why were you searching for me? Didn't you know that I had to be in my father's house?" But they did not understand what he was saying to them. See, Mary doesn't know everything. Here she is, she has a Son of God, and she loses him for 3 days. We obviously see that Mary was not perfect, and she only knew so much. Then he went down to Nazareth with them, and was obedient to them. But his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and favor with God and men. Here we go again. She treasured all these teachable moments in her heart. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in with favor with God and men. You see, I think it's so important that we just shut off all the media, the news, the whatever. Shut off everything that's telling you what you're supposed to be as a parent. And you treasure these teachable moments. You see your child for who they are, who they truly are. And you seek the Lord on them. You treasure these moments, even the hard ones, in your heart, and you ponder on them. And God will show you each step along the way. And He will help you to raise up your children with wisdom and understanding and strong. You see this, you see that Mary wasn't just a babysitter. She had to raise him, and she was not perfect. So this is something that the Lord had put on my heart, and it took me a minute. I read it, and it hit me in a certain way in my heart, knowing that the Lord spoke it to me, but I didn't understand what to do with it. I'm going to give you an example, though. So my son was struggling with video games. It was so hard. It was so hard. It's all he cared about. He cared about nothing else. Me and my husband, we didn't really know what to do. So I treasured this moment. I see this. I read this. I said, okay, Lord, you want me to treasure this moment in my heart. I'm going to treasure this moment in my heart, and I'm going to ponder it, and I'm going to seek you on it, because I need to know what the next step is to make, because I want to raise up a son that has wisdom and understanding. And God so clearly spoke to my heart and said, Isaac doesn't understand what priorities are, and you need to teach him. So instead of just grounding him for few days from it, or whatever, a weekend, 2 weeks, whatever, like I had done many times, but then he just goes back and is just as addicted and caring about nothing else. I started to do something different. Every morning when he wakes up, he has priorities. He has to eat and brush his teeth, make his bed, make sure his room's cleaned up. We have to read the Word together and pray. And over the course of time, he realized there was other things important besides video games. Over time, he realized, oh, I need to get this done. It came to a point one day where he said, I'm not done with my priorities. I was like, oh, you've done everything I asked you to do. And he said, no, I didn't play with my sisters yet. They're a priority. Over time, he started to realize what priorities are. He's still not perfect. He still has his moments. But I see that what the Lord had spoken to me, and me seeking Him out, me treasuring this situation in my heart and pondering it and going before the Lord, He was able to give me the answer, the perfect answer that I needed to raise my son up with wisdom and understanding and all of that, and not just some random discipline. You see, the Lord is for us, and He wants us to treasure these moments in our hearts and to ponder them just like Mary did. And I just want to encourage all of you parents out there to do the same thing. See your kid for who they truly are. Treasure it in your heart. Ponder it and seek the Lord on it. Anyway, that was the message I have for you guys today. I hope some of you got something from it. If this changes your parenting in any way, please let me know. I don't always know what other people get out of my stuff, but I just like to share with you what the Lord's doing in my life and in my heart, and I like to hear what God's doing in yours as well. All right, y'all have a blessed weekend or week. It's Labor Day, so I'm thinking it's the weekend. But y'all have a blessed week, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.